Hello indie game fans! A little bit of a weird week since games seem to be slowing down due to COVID-19 concerns, but as always, the top 10 best indie games of the week starts with OCTAFIGHT. This is a pixel art local multiplayer arena brawler, which is basically Thomas Was Alone meets Duck game. Super simple but elegant in presentation as well, and I'm quite impressed by the minimalist art style and backgrounds. Of course, gathering a bunch of friends might be a challenge now, but there is Steam Remote Play, so perhaps look into that. There have been many games that have tried to use the medieval or Renaissance painting aesthetic to various degrees of success, most notably Rock of Ages, Astrologaster and Lancelot, and the Procession to Calvary is the next one to do so. However, this is a straight-up adventure game which seems fitting with the art and humor, promising a Python-esque adventure in a series of absurd situations. Set in the aftermath of the conclusion of a holy war, the tyrant Heavenly Peter has escaped your grasp, and thus begins your hunt for him. This developer also made a game titled Four Last Things with a similar aesthetic, and this game is set in the same world but with an independent story. Looks like it is very cleverly made and one to get for a couple of laughs. Always a fan of action roguelites, and Infinite DRONIN is an upcoming arena fighter that looks pretty good. Rather than levels, this is all contained in one arena with enemies that spawn in, drones that you can level, and 32 unique skills to equip, with fast, frantic action that is characteristic of this genre.
In Radio General, you are in command. Strategize your mission. Radio in your orders and organize your units in unique operations.
Charlie Company, coming Charlie Company.
Charlie here. Artillery firing at Listening to your voice commands, units will respond directly to your transmissions.
Radio General is a strategy game set in World War II, where you play as the eponymous general and have to command your troops from your command post in search of victory. This supports speech recognition, which is a cool idea, but only in English and on Windows. But if you're at all curious as to how wars are fought, this may just be a glimpse into it. The simulation and army management aspects seem pretty tactical and in-depth as well, so it does seem like quite the authentic experience. Okay, so this one is technically a port, since ALDER'S Blood was released last month on Switch, but here we are with the Steam release. This is a turn-based tactics RPG where you play as the chief of a group of hunters born to slay eldritch monsters. One part Bloodborne, one part XCOM, and one part Darkest Dungeon, the art style certainly is a highlight, with turn-based combat that is focused on stealth and ambush. You do have a home base where you manage your party's equipment, skills, crafting and trading, so a meta strategy layer, but it is so stylish and pretty well received based on Metacritic reviews. Just a quick note, if you are new here and enjoyed the video so far, be sure to subscribe and check out the Discord channel while you are at it. Here's to more indie gaming coverage, so back to the video. Developer Nitrome is known for their pixel art, and GUNBRICK Reloaded is their latest title. This is a real-time puzzle platformer where cars are obsolete, where you play as a brick which has a gun on one side and a shield on the other. You can rocket jump by firing downwards, and the store page even talks about an epic chainsaw deathmatch boss fight, which I'm curious about. There also appears to be in-game variants on the theme, changing art style and perspectives, so should be a pleasant little game. Korean developers have been gaining a little bit of a foothold on Steam, which is nice to see, and one such title is Plebby Quest the Crusades. This is a strategy game where you have to conquer the world and expand your empire. The characters, while simplified rectangles, do have their charm, where I do particularly like the design of the elephants shown off in the trailer. As is the case, diplomacy and backroom deals are critical as you plot and politic your way to the top. There are religious factions to consider, and when all else fails, war is inevitable. If you enjoyed games like Risk or Civilization, this should be right up your alley. Continuing a recent trend is Dreamscaper Prologue, an action roguelite about lucid dreams where you have to face your nightmares in action-adventure style combat. However, there's another layer to that, where when you die or wake up, you can build relationships with other characters in the real world, unlocking stories and increasing your powers, so perhaps something along the structure of Hades in some sense. Dream, die, wake, repeat is their tagline, but the action does look good, the art stylish, and the genre being one of my favourites certainly has me interested. Since this is the equivalent of a free demo, no harm trying it out, with purportedly 4 to 6 hours of content, which is a hefty chunk. Let me know if you try this, and we'll see how excited we will get with regards to the full release. Turn-based roguelikes do get a bad rep due to their complexity, which is why I want to give them a shout out whenever possible, and Awful Grim is one such title this week. This is a turn-based, tile-based roguelike dungeon crawler where the main gimmick is card-based creature summoning combat. Every enemy you encounter is not just a way to die, but you can also capture allies and get unique abilities. It has a classic delve into a 100-floor dungeon to see what's at the bottom structure, with 8 biomes, 100 creatures, boss monsters, random modifiers, and a base building meta progression aspect, with a nice looking art style to round off the package. It is no secret that I'm a fan of card-based RPGs, whether they be roguelites like Slay the Spire, more arcadey experiences like Solitary Car, or games with story and narrative plot, so of course, Ancient Enemy is on this list. Adventure through the land to the Citadel to defeat your ancient enemy once and for all, where of course there are other enemies and obstacles along the way. Clearing cards from the board solitaire style gets you mana, which is then used to power ability cards to defend, attack, or inflict status effects, with an RPG and leveling system to further increase your stats. This is from developer Grey Alien Games, whose most recent title is similar in Shadowhand, so I will need to dig in a little bit to find out the differences, but I did enjoy that game and have been looking forward to this, taking the #1 spot. If you enjoyed the video, why not share it with a friend? Check out even more great indie gaming videos, and in this current climate, stay safe and I will see you after the jump.